You know, none of you really get this, but I'll try to explain it again. Check out the website technocracy.news. It's not actually one of my sites. It's a site that is independent from our network, but it's a site that is very valuable. And there's an article on technocracy.news called "The Rise of Robots Will Eliminate More Than 5 Million Jobs by 2020." Even this headline doesn't really get it. So let me explain. The rise of functional robots that are semi-humanoid in shape and function, meaning they might have one arm, they might have 2 legs and an arm, or a universal wheel and an arm, or even 2 arms at some point. This is going to forever alter. How do I even say this? The middle class will be obliterated. Okay? Everything that you do, if you're a middle class worker, if you're working at retail, if you're working in the service industry, if you're a carpenter, if you do something with your hands that does not involve super high creative processes, then robots are going to replace you within the next generation or so. And by generation, I mean about 25 years. Robots are capable, or they will be capable of doing just about everything that most middle-class workers do today. And think about what middle-class workers do. On the low end, you've got, "Hi, welcome to McDonald's. May I help you?" You know, they're filling paper bags with Big Macs, you know, and punching buttons on a cash register. So that's going to be replaced very quickly, far before 25 years. And then maybe on the high end, you have construction type of jobs. I mean, it's physically complex, you know, to saw 2x4s and nail gun them into place, or to do masonry work, let's say, with cement, or to pour concrete. You know, a lot of construction related jobs. Or even maybe at retail, you know, you're pulling things out of somebody's basket, at the grocery store, and you're swiping them through a laser. You know, you're a cashier at the grocery store, let's say. Pretty low end type of job. Robots are going to be able to take that over very, very soon. So all those people are going to be professionally obsolete. Now, the only people that are going to continue to have jobs in this new society are those who can do things that robots can't. So if you have a job, let's say as a computer programmer, you can still have a job. If you're a dancer or an artist, you still have a job. If you're in management, you still have a job. If you're in marketing, you still have a job. Because you're using your brain, you're doing something. Maybe you're a social media manager. You know, maybe you're an online marketer, or even an offline marketer. Maybe you're in real estate, which is a lot about relationships. Well, robots can't replace that. You know, they're not going to have those same kind of real estate relationships with people. So for those, your jobs are secure. But for many, many millions of middle-class jobs, robots are going to make them totally obsolete. So what's going to happen? This entire class of people who are right now struggling to just cling to the lower edge of middle classdom are going to be plunged into abject poverty. They will become the impoverished masses ruled over by the technocratic elite. And whoever owns the robots and owns the intellectual property of the software will become, the new dominant forces of our planet, even eclipsing governments. And the way these robots will be licensed is very simple. You'll buy a basic hardware model that is the humanoid-shaped model, 1 arm, 2 arms, 2 legs, who knows. You'll buy the hardware, but it'll be a payment plan. And, so it's a monthly fee, basically. And then you will purchase applications, like apps, for a separate fee for each skill set that you need the robot to do. Say you want the robot to mow your lawn. if lawns are even allowed or lawn mowers are even allowed in the future. But let's suppose you want a robot to mow your lawn. So you would purchase the lawn mowing app, and that might be a per time fee, $5 each time the robot mows your lawn. Or you might purchase the app that says the robot can do the dishes for you, or bake a cake, or vacuum the floor of your home, or walk your dog, or any of these other types of basic physical activities. You would probably pay a license fee for that module, that app, and maybe a per usage fee. So you're still paying fees monthly to have this robot to help you as a domestic helper. So this is putting humans utterly out of work, humans that work at nurseries even, digging holes to plant trees. Robots will take that over very quickly. Even in law enforcement, you're going to have robot police officers taking over, especially some of the more dangerous jobs. Can you imagine being swatted by a bunch of androids carrying shotguns? I mean, that's in the future. That'll be here. And it'll be a felony if you shoot one of them. By the way, it's government property. You see destruction of government property. So you can't even engage in self-defense against one of those if it goes haywire or if it gets taken over by some foreign hacker. Can you imagine if some Chinese hacker takes over like the New York Police Department SWAT team and then sends that SWAT team to go attack like some random person or seemingly random person who's actually like a video game nemesis of this hacker in China, wants to get rid of his arch enemy on a video game, sends a New York SWAT team in with robots to take him out. Yeah, that can happen. So anyway, whoever owns the code and whoever owns the intellectual property, the robots, there'll be people who own patents on the hardware and the batteries and the motor control systems, but there'll also be people who own software patents on the code, the vision recognition systems, the logic, the neural network systems, perhaps. So there'll be a lot of people, a lot of families and individuals and corporations especially, who are invested in the intellectual property of these robotic systems. Those are the oil barons of the 21st century. Those will become the next generation of, let's say, the Rockefellers, or the J.P. Morgans, or the Bill Gates of the world, for that matter. They will suck up. I mean, we're talking about ultra wealthy. More wealth will be concentrated into the hands of the few due to robotics than ever before in the history of humanity. This is the opposite of the democratization of computing power. This is actually a consolidation of power and money and wealth into the hands of those very, very few corporations or individuals who develop these systems. And this is why Google is working so hard on this. The people that run Google are not stupid. They're evil, but they're not stupid. So they know. That's why, they bought that robotics company that was working with DARPA. They just bought them up. Hey, what's another couple of $1 billion if you're Google? Right? I forgot the name of that robotics company, but they made the robotic army mule that could follow soldiers through the field, basically stalking humans to be used as cargo. Yeah, and they've also made a humanoid robot that can run on a treadmill, and it looks pretty freaky. It's basically a Terminator. So they're working on that. They're obviously going to have soldier robots and lease them to the Pentagon. Meanwhile, other companies are going to be working on robotic systems for domestic use, in your homes, robots for factory work, robots for commercial cleaning operations, sweep floors, mop floors, clean things up. There'll be robots for police duty, which will probably be the same as the military robots. And these robots are going to increasingly take over our world, thereby displacing most of the middle class. So you're going to have the rise of the impoverished, low-income masses who have all been displaced by the robots, which will include, by the way, those who are currently considered illegal immigrants who are walking across the border to get jobs, picking strawberries in California. I mean, let's face it, a lot of the agricultural labor in California is done by either recent immigrants or in many cases illegal immigrants, undocumented, as they say, that will all be replaced by robots. So you're going to have this massive rise up of the impoverished masses rising up against the system that has made them obsolete. And guess what is going to be put into action when that day comes? Yep. Robot crowd control. Yeah. Terminator cops with shields and batons. And guess what? They're immune to tear gas, and they have infrared vision. So they'll just launch tear gas into all the crowds. Robots will just walk in there and beat the crap out of everybody to put down that uprising. Yeah, this day is coming. It's not even difficult to see. You know, unless some major crash happens first, I mean, EMP weapon or something takes out the power grid, then, that would set this back a long ways. Maybe forever. But unless some critical crash happens, we're going to see the rise of the robots, and then we're going to see massive social unrest following that. And then we're going to see a police state that is enforced by humanoid robotics, owned by the police state government regime. Not even difficult to see this coming. Which leads me to the ultimate point I wanted to make in this, which is that at some point human beings are going to have to get good at killing robots. If you want to live, come with me, says the Terminator. There will be war with the machines. I see that in humanity's future. And right now it's pretty darn easy to disable a robot. They're not that robust. But that could change in the future with advanced materials and who knows, all kinds of strategies for that. So in the future, get ready to see more and more focus on how to kill robots, including rogue robots that have been, hacked and taken over by somebody else and are running loose in the city. How do you take them out? So that's going to be a skill that humanity needs to master if it hopes to survive. And you better hope that they don't achieve AI singularity before we figure out how to control all these robots. Otherwise, humanity is pretty much extinct at that point. All right, stay up to date on all this at glitch.news, and also check out my website, newstarget.com. And the website that I mentioned at the opening was technocracy.news, which is a really cool site. Check that out too. Take care.